adventure time. Come on, grab your friends. We'll go to very distant lands. We'll take the dog and then the human. The fun will never end. It's adventure time.
Right. So we're back with another base video. It's been a while since I've done another one of these. As you know, this seems to happen every single episode, but we're back at it. I did the short version 2-3 weeks ago, but we're back with the long one here with the voiceover. So starting this off, we did a little bit of filler. This is spray filler on top of that. It's spray filler and primer coat, I believe. So we're just filling that, getting a smooth, consistent texture so we can go onto it with the paint. Before we did that though, we wanted to do a test fit just to make sure that everything lined up well, everything sat in the spots it's supposed to. So we have our bridge, our strap button, the other one's not in, the pickup pickup guards, and then we have our tuning pegs and our headstock right there, which everything fits in perfectly well. In the back we again have our output there, output jack, and our tuning knobs. We have the back of our little neck brace. We're just using a Fender one, a lot of Fender hardware in this base, and this is the first coat of our dark red, which is the base color. We'll go at it with light red later, but yeah, this is the dark red. It's a painter and primer. It actually goes on pretty well. It's quite a thick coat. It kind of goes everywhere, but all in all, it's actually quite a nice, decent paint. Sanding that down, we had a bit of overspray on the front there, as you can see, but you know, nothing a bit of sanding can't fix. We keep sanding that down before we go on with our other coats and get it nice and smooth, and yeah, it went pretty well. And here is our second coat, I believe. Yes, there it is. We went a bit lighter with our following coats because the first one was a bit hard, causing overspray. I'm not sure if this one had a bit of overspray as well, to be honest, but that's the front there after just seeing the back. But it ended up going pretty well, I believe. As you can see, most of the overspray was gone. A little bit still there, but nothing a bit of sanding can fix. And in this case, it's wet sanding. So we got our sandpaper, we got our water, which looks like jelly mix, I guess, there, but a lot smoother of a consistency compared to normal sanding, getting rid of a lot of the scratches and making it ready for some proper painting. So as you can see, this is before we sanded it down. We've taped up the edges just so the paint doesn't go over the top, and gotten it ready for the lighter red to go on, which is going to be for the middle section. This is after sanding it down because I kind of forgot to do that before I put the tape on, which was bad, but ended up being fine as long as we cleaned it up, got it into the hardware route, the area where the hardware is going to sit in, the area we routed out a couple episodes ago, just because we wanted to grab, even if it's not a perfect finish because it's going to be covered by a plate, we just wanted to grab and have the paint actually sit in there. And here it is, the light red paint. You can't really tell much of a difference on camera. You'll be able to see in future upcoming episodes because, you know, with the finishes put on top and the lines put in, you can tell somewhat of a difference, especially in pictures rather than video. It's definitely a lot better. But as you can see on video right now, you compare it to the headstock, which is the dark red, you actually can't particularly tell the difference. But again, we painted the headstock now, it's not the bare wood, and that looks quite good as well. Both the body and the headstock ended up turning out pretty well after painting, no overspray. The paint was a little gritty on the light red, but all in all, it turned out pretty well. As you can see, there's a headstock. We've taken the tape off from around the edges, so we have the bare wood on the back and the paint on the front, and there is the base itself. We have the dark red with the light red on the center, and as you can see, it looks pretty good. It doesn't really show a super huge amount in this specific video. You'll be able to see it better later. As I was saying before, with the dark and the light, it's hard to differentiate through these videos, especially with the lighting, but later on you'll be able to see, and it ended up turning out pretty dang well, if I do say so myself. Speaking of which, there it is. You can definitely tell there's a big color difference between the two here. The finish turned out pretty well. Obviously we're gonna have to sand back and put the clear on later, but the actual base paint turned out pretty well, so we're pretty happy with that, and as you'll see in the future, it ends up going pretty well. So that's, I swear I said well way too many times this episode, but just forget that, guys, it's fine. We're just doing the voiceover off the cuff, so ignore that. Anyway, That's it for today's episode. It's going to be taking a little while longer for the next episode. I mean, I say that, but there's quite a big gap between all of these episodes, but I've got a radio performance and stuff coming up, which will be uploaded to the channel, so make sure to check that out. But yeah, life has been super busy recently, coming up on my birthday as well, having to plan a lot of stuff, so it might be a little while until we actually fully finish it. But I went to PAX with the semi-finished thing. We're about 85%, and it's pretty good. So if you want to see more in the future, make sure to follow and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.